So you want to make any descendant that you pick, whether it be Bunny, Blair, whoever you want to pick, super OP, and make sure that every single ability hits hard like a tank and make him super godly. Well, then you're definitely going to watch this video, because just like my weapon video where I taught you how to make any weapon OP, I'm going to now teach you how to make any character in this game OP. What mods to use, what are the ones I recommend. If you apply these 4 mods, these are going to make your characters really powerful. And in addition to that, I'm going to tell you how to know and identify what works and what doesn't work, so you're ready for when the game launches and you have put this video together, you will know exactly where to get started. So if you like how that sounds, a like would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more First Descendant coverage. Alright, so we're going to get started and take a look at Bunny, because it seems like that's everybody's favorite descendant. If you have a different favorite one, let us know in the comment section down below. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, guys, is you want to identify what ability you want to be using the most with your character, or which one do you feel that's more effective and helps you do more damage. So, for example, for Bunny, this one, I personally love using this one, which is the lightning emission. I want to have this active every single time, and I want to make sure that this particular ability not only procs hard, but it does what it does. Okay, so the first thing you want to look here, and you're going to see this in every single character, right next to where it gives you the name of the ability, there are 2 different icons. We have electric and singular. Now, it's very important that you understand this, because if you look at another character, like for example, we go to lepic, and let's say you're using his grenade, or you're using this ability quite a lot, or you're using this one a lot, right? Whichever one you want to use, or you're using the grenade a lot, this one tells you what this procs of. For example, if I use a grenade a lot, I'm going to make sure I want to have my tech ability active. Or if I'm using the arm, this scales off of tech. So I know if I scale tech, it's going to help my grenade, and it's going to help my arm. This one scales out of singular, and this one scales out of singular. So if I want to use these 2 abilities the most, then I'm going to be focusing on singular, as opposed to if I want to use my grenade and my arm more, it's going to be focusing on tech. Now, let me go and show you Valby. For Valby, for example, this one ability here scales off fusion. But if I want to use this one right here, which gives you the little pop-up, this one scales off dimension. If I go here, this one scales off dimension, and I'm pretty sure this one scales off fusion. So for me, for Valby, I want to make sure I increment my dimension every single time that I'm modding my characters. Now that you understand that, that should give you a better idea and a better example of what you to look for. I'm just going to give you another example with Gley, because Glee's another character that a lot of people use. I don't know if it's going to let me see this, but this one goes ahead and scales off singular. This one scales off dimension, singular, and dimension. So as you guys get the idea, you guys kind of have an idea of what to look for once you pick your character. Now that you have your character selected, we're going to go into the descendant modules, and this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting, because this is what's going to help you determine what module to apply to which slot. Okay, the first thing I want to tell you for modules is you always want to be looking for this thing right here. You see where it says, where it has it on green? If I were to move this to here, it's going to go to 9. And that means that my capacity here has incremented. If I move this back here, it went back to 25. It's going to be extremely important that whatever single mod that you use that has the highest amount of capacity of module cost, you put it to its right slot. As you see right here, if I were to move these slots, right? If I were to move this here, it turns it into red. That's because I am not matching that little icon that's in here. Okay, so you see this little icon here? If I move this around, that little icon right here, anytime I move a mod, it's gonna go ahead and give me a kind of decrease or increase if I match that specific module. As you see for this module, we're at 25, but if I move this module in here, it's gonna reduce the cost of it because I'm slotting it into its right option. So anytime you guys are doing something here, you want to make sure that you guys are slotting this correctly to its right mods. So I'm going to remove all these mods, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what the best thing you want to do. Now you see the sub module. Now this particular sub module works on changing the way your module works. So for example, for Bunny, her first module that she has right here, she throws a laser beam. If I want to get rid of that laser beam, I can apply this electro condense, and that's going to change the laser beam from an electric condense as opposed to a beam. So instead of throwing a laser beam for her ultimate, I would say, she does like a little diffuse bomb and where she blows up in electricity. So you're able to change that. But one thing that I would recommend is always apply something here, because this particular section will help you at no cost if you apply any of the melee options. So for example, you could apply the dual claws, and that's just going to go ahead and allow you to have a debuff here whenever you use it. Apart from that, these are the main things you want to look for. So whenever you're looking for your character, you want to make sure you look for the following items. You're going to look for crit right here. Anything that gives you critical damage is going to be extremely important because that's going to allow you to proc more damage to your particular character. So for the ones I have right here, I have HP concentration, which is going to do the max HP that I have plus 17, and it's going to give me skill critical hits of a plus 61. Next, we have this one, which is going to call acceleration. This, once again, is going to give me max MP, and it's going to increase my skill crit hit damage plus a plus 1.5. And we got skill range mastery, which is going to give us a skill crit hit damage of plus 3 and skill effect of range. So if you have this right here, anytime that you're able to upgrade your crit damage, you're going to want to apply it, okay? So you're going to want to see that you have this little arrow. You don't have the little arrow, you're possibly fine. You're able to slot it at any slot. Then we have our ironclad defense, which is going to give you critical hit resistance. That's not that much important, but the one that you probably want to do is you want to add is this HP concentration. So I apply this here. As you see right here, my skillful crit hit damage went increased, and my skillful skill effect range got an increment here, okay? Now these are on negative because I removed the mods and I didn't save them. Once we got the crit chance out of the way, we're going to go ahead and type in skill. And in these ones, we're looking for anything that reduces the skill cost for our character, and we're looking for stuff that also is beneficial to us. Now, one thing I would recommend is looking at the blue mods before the purple mods, because the purple mods cost more than the blue mods. So whenever you apply here and you're trying to upgrade these mods to these yellow ones, you're going to want to make sure you keep that in mind. So one thing I want to recommend, this is going to be your number one friend, and this is called Nimble Fingers. What this is going to do, it's going to reduce the cooldown of your skill. So that means you're going to be able to use your skills more often. And of course, you're going to want to make sure that you put this in the right slot. As you see right here, this is right here. It has a little bubbles. I'm going to put it right here, and it's not going to take up too much, as opposed to if I put it here, it goes up to 18. If I put it here, it goes to 14. So it lets me save 5 different capacities, which is awesome. Next up, guys, we're going to be looking for more stuff that not only reduces our skills, but also costs less or gives us more duration. Now, remember, duration doesn't always help on certain descendants, okay? So it's going to be really important that you pay attention to what you're doing. Now, for this one in particular, I know Bunny scales off electricity, so I am going to look for electricity specialist. Now, basically, electricity specialist, it's going to boost my electrical skill power by a ratio of +3. This is extremely important because I want to make sure that that gets boosted every single time. So if you're running a toxic character, if you're running a character that does ice, you're going to want looking for that. So I am going to boost this right here to boost my electricity, and that's going to help me out exponentially. The next thing we want to do, guys, is we're going to look for strong mentality, which is going to reduce the resource cost while using the skill. So that means that anytime I proc my skill, it's going to cost me less to proc my skill. All right, so that's going to be important. Mentioned, guys, is going to be optional, and that's just called the skill extension. This is just going to increase the skill duration applied to certain skills. So this is only beneficial on some characters, not highly recommended, but I did want to point it out because I do use it for Bunny. So that means her duration of her skills is going to last just a little bit longer than usual. The next thing we're going to be doing, guys, is this is going to be based upon your character's whatever ability you have. And I'm going to be picking up the Electrical Master, which is going to increase my skill power modifier +1 and skill electric power modifier +6. So that's going to give me a nice little boost here. We're going to add that, and that should be good. So next thing we want to do, guys, is we want to look for, of course, our health, because we want to make sure we're keeping an eye on our health. So we're going to put defense right here, and we're going to go ahead and apply this one right here, which is called increase defense. Now, increased defense, what it's going to do is just going to pretty much boost our defense. And of course, you want to make sure you have that. So we're going to boost our defense right here, right off the bat. Next mod that's going to be extremely important for you guys, it's one that we're going to be looking at a category called weak. And that is called weakened recovery. What this does is on sub attack. So on your sub attack that you do, outgoing heal -50% for 10 seconds. And it gives you a 100% chance and a cooldown of 25. What exactly does this do? So anytime you use your melee, it's going to reduce the enemy from being healed. So let's say you're fighting a boss and you melee them. It's going to take away the ability of them being able to heal back, and this is very beneficial on enemies that regen their health. It's extremely important that you keep in mind that you melee the enemy you're fighting every single time and apply that weak recovery, because that's going to allow you guys to be able to reduce the ability of having your character or having the enemy you're fighting get their health back. And for our final slot, guys, we're going to be adding another thing that's going to boost our max MP, which is the ability of being able to have more magna to use our skill. And we're also going to go ahead and make sure we go ahead and increase our crit damage for our skill. So we're going to apply it right there. Now, one thing I recommend is once you find a specialist or once you have a descendant that you love, is to make sure you guys always go here where it says modify additional right here. So you want to make sure you maximize his capacity. Well, let's go ahead and save it first. And you want to make sure you maximize him so his capacity go from 50 to 76. So we're going to go ahead and add that. And that should boost up your character and allow you to add more mods with better things. So once again, if you want to make your character super OP, guys, you want to make sure you look for 4 different mods. Nimble Fingers, which is going to give you school cooldown. You want to make sure you max it out. Number 2, Strong Mentality. You want to make sure that the resource cost for using your skill is reduced. Number 3 is you want to boost whatever ability you have that you're using. So Electricity, once again, which is what I'm running, that we know based on the character we're playing. And number 4, guys, you want to work on one that allows you to not allow enemies to heal back, which is Weaken Recovery. If you put these 4 mods within your character will go from being okay to being godly. I hope you guys are finding these videos helpful and informative. If you are, do me a huge favor, guys, drop a comment, drop a like. But most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn on all your notifications so you guys won't miss when our videos go live. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.